Jandir, you SOB, man. You got me again.
Yo!
Yo, Spada, what's up, man?
Not much, man.
Alright.
Just watching the stream.
Nice. They can hear you. Perfect. Alright,
Nice.
I gotta get... What's his face in here?
What's his face?
I gotta get... I gotta get... What does he smell like? I gotta get... Gutter!
Hi.
I got a magic. Hi.
Hi.
Hi. Are you playing Smite right now?
We were.
Okay, take a break. You're in a podcast.
Excuse me!
Take a break. You're in a podcast. It's only gonna be a couple minutes, all right?
That's fine.
All right, and turn off my stream because I can hear myself on your stream.
What's going on?
not-
Gutter,
it's
you
not
doing
me.
alright, bud?
I'm gonna blame you anyways.
Yeah,
I'm
it's
doing
me.
good.
It's
Just playing
me.
some carry right now, fighting some ranked heads.
Okay, so Spada, since you brought up the subject, I think it would be appropriate if you started to talk about it because I know you put up a pretty in-depth paragraph on the Ultra Combo forums, very in-depth. So why don't you go ahead and start?
A few of
man.
them, yeah.
Why don't you go ahead and start?
Yeah. So I kind of been on both sides of the fence on this one a little bit, but the topic is LCD brought this up in the Ultra Combo forums that he feels like one chance breakable combos, or what I started calling OCDs, are way too powerful in the game and they're getting out of hand. And you guys know me, especially when I was just starting to get to where I was getting better at Glacius. I was using one chance breakables like all the time. That was like my mainstay for pretty much a while. But yeah, the topic really is right now that topic was brought up by LCD, and it's really just about one chance breakables, which is essentially opener, manual, shadow ender. So in this case, like Glacius has cold shoulder. I could cold shoulder and do a crouching light manual into shadow puddle punch, and that'd do about 28% damage with the light manual. But
Okay. That's like
so it depends on
below. That's like below the threshold of what's considered like absolutely powerful.
Yeah, so a lot of characters, and even Glacius was in certain situations can do up to 33 to 35% with that.
It's better.
With that combo. For instance, I can do a throw into a corner, which is counted as an.
Hey, Spada. Hello?
Mm-mm.
Spada, are you there?
Mm-mm.
Talk to me, Spada. I think we lost him. Ah, shit.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. You were like going all robotic for a sec. It was weird.
Son of a bitch.
Oh, it doesn't.
But yeah, go
Yeah,
on.
my headphones are busted.
Oh, that sucks, man.
But just let me know if you guys start hearing an echo of yourselves.
Okay, yeah, but keep going.
Keep going, yeah.
Yeah, so basically, if I throw as Glacier, if I throw someone into the corner, I can do a heavy manual into Shadow Puddle Punch. That I technically consider the same combo. I can juggle after that for up to 40% damage. So it can be quite powerful, and
Okay.
I can't argue with that.
Okay.
But anyways, that's the topic. So why don't you guys go ahead and talk about how your feelings on the topic?
I want Gutter to start before I start.
Why?
Alright, go ahead,
Well,
Gutter.
Well, how can I put this? What's the difference between needing it and doing it because you have it?
Needing it and doing it because you have it. Needing it and doing it because you have it. That's all you got, because that's how you feel. You see,
Oh
'cause
my
you know,
God.
you know, because you see. All right, keep
So,
going.
my personal opinion, people do it as soon as they get meaner. I got for sure 30% every time. That's what they think in their minds. And I can understand the damage aspect, but Killer Instinct becomes Street Fighter. It doesn't become. There's no. What's the point of comboing? You can just do a grab or something for sure damage. I mean, again, I didn't say it before, but I do understand about one chance breaks. I understand. I'm a grappler. I should be making everybody pissed off about it, but I don't.
Okay.
The thing is, like, I get there are times where it's like that little bit life left. Do it. I'm gonna try to do it.
Okay.
There's a difference.
What the hell? Did we just lose everybody?
No, I'm here.
I think Gutter is going in and out. Give him a sec. He'll pop in.
Yeah, he's...
All right, Gutter, go ahead, Gutter. You just got disconnected for like a couple seconds.
Sorry. There's a difference between people using it as soon as they get it, and then they just light finish, light finish, light. The whole game becomes super stale. And then the moment you try to break that light, they're doing a long combo, and it's like, what is this? This isn't KI anymore. Like, the people that I've asked, they said that, well, why would I go for long combos when I have for short damage? He says, I understand that. I do. But that is your only thing you play with.
Okay. You
get meter, and which we all know, you get meter quick in this game.
Okay.
Super fast.
All right.
Very true.
Quick,
Go so fast.
Spada, what do you think about Gutter, what he just said?
I want to wait until you say what you have to say.
No.
Sure.
I want to. I'll get my piece, but I want to see what you think of what he just said.
All right, so I think it's a double-edged sword for characters, especially like Glacius. Like, I understand the complaint, particularly when it pertains to Saberwolf, because he's really good at opening you up. But Glacius doesn't have a lot of options for opening someone up. He doesn't really have just a real overhead. All he's really got is the unblockable, which you guys both know. If I use that up close in a bad situation, I'm going to get blown up for it. So for him, having bursts of damage, I think, is kind of a necessity. But, and I think the argument can also be made that you do have the chance to break, even though you have to guess.
Okay.
I don't think they should be removed from the game because I think they have a major utility, especially for characters like Glacius. But I will admit that the damage output is way too much.
Okay.
So when I was talking to you guys about it, my opinion kind of didn't necessarily change on its utility, but I still. One of the things I said in my original post on the LCD's forums post was that the only reason I feel like it should be removed is if it can win a game. It should not be something that can win a game. That's that. And having talked to you about it, having heard Gutter talk about it, even just now, having heard about it from multiple top players, I personally feel that if you can win a match with that tactic, it's too powerful. So there has to be something,
which most people do.
Okay.
But yeah.
All right. Well, the reason why I wanted you guys to reply to what each other's opinions, because it's great hearing. I'm hearing two very interesting sides. Well, on Gutter's side, it's basically in a nutshell that people are kind of using it. If you have the meter, why not? And it basically gets you past like the nitty-gritty half point of like the matches, like when two opponents go at each other through like you can kind of see it like through the life bar at the very beginning. It's trying to feel each other out. In the very middle, that's when the riskiest stuff happens. Towards the very end of the health bar, that's when are you going to be reckless? Are you going to be overly turtly? It's like it's go for broke at that point. So I understand exactly what Gutter's going through, and with Spada, I completely agree with Spada. With Glacius, because Glacius is one of the opponents that doesn't really find a good opening at his own convenience. He actually has to rely on the other opponent on slipping up, because that's the whole part about zoning. Zoning basically, when you throw fireballs, when you throw shatters, right? That's basically what you can do. You're standing there, you're vulnerable when you toss a hail, when you whatever. You know what I mean? So you're basically focusing on if the opponent is experienced enough on getting past every single one of that to reach Glacius. Now, through that instance, Glacius, he can't do one chance breaks from far away. It's very crap damage for what I've seen. Am I right or wrong?
25, something like that. 23.
25 to 28% damage when you use Shatter as an ender. Yeah.
Yeah. It's one of the lowest. And Jago, like when he does it, it's around the same. I want to say like 24. I want to say 24%, right? But then when you finally get in on Glacius, that's when the opponent has a job to do. You have to rush him down. But of course, that's the only time where he can finally, pull out the one chance break. That is quite damaging, but that is not a reliable tactic for Glacius, because again, his whole thing is about zoning, blowing you up, blowing up your defense. You know, you're never going to see a rush down Glacius that just does that all day. You might see a Glacius that might touch you, do one chance, and then from there on run away, run away, run away, and try to zone you out. But keep in mind, when you really think about it, that's actually more viable towards the player that has to get on Glacius if Glacius was just running away, as to where if he was rushing you down using all just one chance breaks. So, you know, I definitely see that.
And to actually, we say this at work all the time, to piggyback off that point. The thing for me is that I'll do it in situations where somebody does guess, and I just wasted 40 to 50% damage, a 40 to 50% damage combo. In some cases, 60%.
Yeah.
Because that same bar emitter could be used as a linker in a capitalization with heavy, heavy doubles, light linkers, or even heavy linkers or whatever, and then just a full-fledged combo, and then end it, which would be worth anywhere between 45 and 60% if I make the mistake of going for a one chance break combo when I shouldn't.
Yeah.
So it's one of those. That's why I feel like it's a double-edged sword, because yes, is it a powerful tactic, but at the same time, if I waste that meter on that in that situation, then it's bad for me. Very, very bad for me. Because you're not going to fall for the same thing, or top players aren't going to fall for the same thing more than once in a row. It's just not going to happen.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. Like, going through ranked, I don't necessarily see too much of a problem with it, because people just guess break their way through ranked and stuff like that, and it's just kind of like, just get shit done and just kind of get through that until you get to the top players. But in high-level tactic, in a high-level game, watching somebody play that way would be very, very boring.
Yep.
So.
Yep. I mean, we've had a discussion in the chat before. I mean, we talked about it and see how people felt about it, and they all said it was stale and boring. And keep in mind, we had over 125 people at the time, and you know, like it was quite surprising to see the consistency of how the entertainment was with the matches. People said it was stale. People said it wasn't as great as it used to be. You know?
Yeah, it becomes another game, to be honest. Again, like, there's so many mechanics and so many things that the characters are able to do to show off, but you end it and you finish it by just going shadow. Light, done, shadow. It's wow.
Yep.
Yeah.
Whereas the game is going. I think I seen a tournament. I don't remember what it was for KI1 where they were still doing combos, and it was like. It looked fun to watch because it was flashy. It was a lot more to it, and because it was the game itself, not because they were trying to finish it with their own tactics by one chance.
Yeah,
it was the game. This game could be so much more fun if people actually used all of their utilities instead of just one thing. Because that's a very big thing right now.
I think something top players tend to forget, and I don't necessarily feel this way about you guys, but I think like when you get to players like Justin Wong and like I'll even say PR Rog or anybody else that's like really competitive, Rico Suave for example, who are really competitive in other fighting games, they don't think about it as this is. They think about this, and I can't necessarily say that for Rico. I haven't really talked to him about it, but I can pretty much assuredly say that for Justin Wong and Rod, that it's just another fighting game, and being good at it and winning. That's all.
Oh, his mic is going silly.
Yeah, Spatter, your mic is going crazy again.
It might be their internet. I'm not sure.
Is it really? Damn.
Yeah, like,
you're good now. I think you're good.
Maybe.
I think you're good.
Okay.
No, you're back.
No,
Anyways,
okay, good. Go ahead.
I think that top play.
Jeez, you had top.
Well,
wait, what?
Spatter lived a good life. I'll always remember him.
Rip.
Rest in peace. Spatter, are you there?
What the fuck?
Say testing.
Yeah,
me? Yeah, dude, you're. Oh man, you sound like a robot.
Testing?
Right? You're cutting in and out, like.
Yeah, that's my phone. Let me try. Let me try something else.
Yeah, sure.
Give me a second. Let me try something else. I'm gonna.
Okay.
I'm gonna call you back.
So there's another it's hard to explain without like it sounding kind of rude.
I'll tell you what I feel about one chance breaks.
Okay, here you go. Yeah,
100%.
please.
I'm gonna tell you guys exactly what I feel about one chance breaks. Okay, one chance breaks is the meta of this game, and is, as much as people don't want to hear it, it's the smartest thing to do in this game to win right now. The reason of that being is now one chance breaks with the corrector that it's actually quite ideal for. You can get actually 33 to 35% health, whether it's doing a one chance break off the ground or a one chance break during and then a juggle afterwards. You can get that much damage, okay? And again, doing another one right afterwards that equals up to 60, 65, and sometimes close to 70%. That's 2 bars. Now, in my eyes, those 2 bars are probably that's probably the best way you can spend it. And the thing is, that is not only the best way to spend it, but it does make the match incredibly stale. Okay. Now the thing is, you know, I'd say the top 3 characters that have this best, you know, usage right now is Wolf, Sadira, and I want to say Glacius, but the thing is, Glacius does not have many opportunities to utilize that. I've been noticing Orchids using that as well, but it doesn't dish out as much damage, okay? I've noticed some Jaegos do it as well, and again, that does not dish out that much damage either, okay? And I've also been noticing a Fulgore do it, and I'm not sure exactly how that weighs out with the, you know, I don't know, I really don't think Fulgore should even use it, because using that meter, it's hard getting that meter back. So, but as of right now, that's kind of becoming the meta of trying to win games. You know, especially if you use it in the beginning to try to get some quick damage, or if you use it towards the end to try to end the round, which basically saves you the trouble of building up towards an ultra combo. It saves yourself from trying to go through that extra risk, because if you could take that big chunk away, you basically don't even have to worry about, you know, trying to do an ultra when you have the bar. It's basically the best thing to do today with high-level players. High-level players do it against high-level players. High-level players win against high-level players doing that, okay? And the reason that being is when you put the opponent in a one-chance break situation, that tells them in their head they only have one chance to break, and that's going to be in the very, very, very beginning of a combo right after the opener's finished. Now, that also puts the opponent at even a bigger advantage, because that gives them 2 options. One option, am I going to do a one chance and then shadow, or I'm going to do an opener, one chance counter break. Okay, this eliminates the possibility of any kind of counter breaks or combo breaks throughout later in the combo, because there is no combo after that. So it basically puts it all in one instance. Is he going to counter break, or is he going to one chance break shadow? If you lock out and they're fast enough, they can keep the combo going into a 55%. If they get wise, they counter break you. It's a heavy reward for the person that's doing it, and it's semi-risk, since, you know, of course, if you get broken once, then, you know, it resets once again. But then again, if he opens you up again, he gets another hit on you, another one chance can come along. What C-Styles asks, is it overall good? Is it good for the overall state of the game? I'm gonna say no. Gutter, they're asking me. What the hell?
Oh, be quiet. You've answered before I answered, so it's okay.
No, it's not good for the game. It is not, because not only that, it's killing the entertainment. People want to see stylish long combos. People want to see the nitty-gritty, you know, long-term mind games leading up to that specific counter break, combo break that just ends or changes the morale or changes the tide for the characters. That people want to see the hype. People want to see that, you know, those long matches. People do not want to see one chance breaks into another one chance break and the character's at huge disadvantage, and from there on you're just focused on building meter and staying away until you get 1 bar, and then you do it again. Now, that can be incredibly stale for a lot of the new users as well, because when they see Killer Instinct, the new users that move into the newer Killer Instinct, they expect to see some of the stuff that they saw as a kid. Long combos, all this jibber jabber, all this stylish stuff as well. Okay? Basically, you know, in a nutshell, it is the most useful thing to do right now, especially in a tournament or anywhere. And if you don't use it, you're actually putting yourself at a small disadvantage, because again, you're putting more risk for long combos, while on their end, they can actually make up for the half of your damage with one bar, and then the rest of it, including more damage with the second bar back to back. Okay, so the thing is, in my opinion, I think it needs to be changed. I think it needs to be fixed and needs to be toned down just a little bit. Not at the point where it's completely useless, because the fact is some people do use them to end the game, which is very smart to do. It's a great way to just try to end that round really quick. But the matter of fact is, if you use it to your advantage to take down 65 to almost 70% health for something that you could have done by evolving in the game back and forth 1 versus 1, you know what I mean, going through mind games, learning your opponent, learning what they're capable of, and earning that damage, doing one chance breaks twice in a row eliminates that from the whole match. And basically, to the spectators, to the opponents, it becomes kind of like this one-way street of just doing, you know what I mean. KI is supposed to be like a freeway. It's supposed to be like New York, basically. But right now, all we're seeing are one-way streets, basically. And again, that is the best way to win. Hello?
Can you guys hear me now?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah.
Cool. There we go.
Okay, so that's how I see it. Okay, and again, in tournaments, it's the best thing to do against another high-level player, because again, you're limiting their options to breaking early, which is one of the riskiest things to do in this game, because you never want to break early, and that goes against everything. While that gives the opponent the chance to either shadow you to 33-35%, or counter break you if they feel like you're trying to break it. So that's too much of an advantage. Too much of an advantage. Removing shadow enders, I honestly feel like okay, this is what I would have to say. There would be two
shadow enders.
In my opinion, there would be two ways to handle this. If people really want to see it gone, then if people really want to see it gone, at least let them be able to do it on the screen. If they can't do it in a combo, if it's like, okay, you can't do shadow enders in a combo, you can either do a shadow that continues a combo, at least let them do it outside the screen, or let them keep the shadow enders but minus that damage, since you're putting a combo in, to like at least like, you know, like I don't really know the correct way to but at least tone down the damage. That's what I would say.
Yeah, just scaling. That's all we all want.
Yeah, because if you do take away the shadow enders, I mean, if you do take away the shadow enders, it is a way for a hard knockdown. Other than that, I mean, you know, like I said, it does make, you know, the show stale. It does make it stale for spectators and the opponents. I'm sure they, you know, it's holding the opponents back from coming.
It just needs to lose its value. It needs to lose such a high value. That's why the damage needs to be nerfed. If the damage is nerfed, then it won't be such a problem. Like, they're not going to go for the tactic that often. I wouldn't go for the tactic that often if it wasn't for good damage. I don't use that tactic as much anymore. I at least get, you know, 3 or 4 chances to break before I'll go into a shadow ender if I do it. But, like, yeah, I think scaling the damage is the answer.
Yeah, scaling. I mean, yeah, I would agree. You know, I would agree with scaling. I think scaling would be the best decision at this point. And, you know, it would encourage people to, instead of trying to rely on an ender and try to stay more safe, to explore the other characters' tendencies, explore what they're capable of, and that's how you can utilize your combo breaks, shadow counters, and counter breaks to the fullest potential that this game intended it to be. And that's by itself produces massive amounts of hype. You know what I mean? The crazy hype. You know what I mean? So, I mean, I don't think. And also, I mean, also bringing up the fact that you can build meter in this game like a beast.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. The match can be with Glacius. I actually tested this with Glacius. It takes 4 blocked hails to get to a full bar meter.
Yeah. It takes 4 blocked fireballs for Jago to have 1 bar.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I don't have one to do, so don't worry about that.
What's that?
I don't have one for you guys. I get my meter whenever it happens.
Well, I mean, regardless of the fact, like, if you're going on the offensive, you gain meter like crazy. And if you touch them once, 1 combo, you should have 1 bar by then. He
Yes.
should have 1 bar. And by the way, Worst Jacob just brought up an interesting thing. He says he doesn't agree with nerfing the damage because people would still use one chance breaks a lot because of how fast the meter builds in the game. That's exactly what we were just talking about. I think the only way to fix it is to remove Shadow Enders. Now, that's
agree with that.
That's another thing that I want to talk about. So, Spada, what do you think on terms of, since if they scale the damage, it wouldn't do anything because of the meter game would give them way too many opportunities one chance breaks. What pros and cons? Spatter, you go first.
You can't remove Shadow Enders. Like, I realize that there's a couple of characters that don't really utilize them and don't really have much of a reason to, but Grims, I've seen you use Shadow Enders to end around, exactly how Gutter suggested using that.
Yep.
I don't see. There's nothing wrong with Shadow Enders existing. People can use it all the time, and it's about how often can I be opened up. And it's a fighting game. Face it, it has to incorporate that to some level. That's just the way it is. And if you're going to allow yourself to get opened up 5 times in a round to have that happen to you, then I don't necessarily. This is where I have to side with my god. You just got to get better at blocking. Honestly, like, I'm guilty of it too. But like, you shouldn't. If it was only normal combos and no Shadow Enders, then each match would end, or each round would end after one player gets 3 or 4 combos anyways. That's just kind of how it is.
Let me ask you a quick question, since you're bringing that up. Let me ask you a quick question.
Sure.
Do you think if that does, even if they scale it, or like let's say they don't scale it, well, basically, do you think ultras, the ability to cancel into ultra to end the game, do you think that will be completely gone or just less utilized? Because in the beginning, ultras were like the main necessity to end something when you have to end it, But with these one chance breaks, like if they scale it or not, or whether or not they have meter and it's scaled and they do it anyways, do you think it's still worth doing? Like there is ultra for a reason, the ultra bar is there for a reason, but do you think it's still worth doing one chance breaks to end the game, and basically leave ultras kind of like in the back, the back of the bus? Like, you don't really need to cancel. You could just one chance break and basically end the game. Like, what do you think of that?
I don't know, man. I see just as many matches that never get to the ultra stage anyways. That you build enough combo on the last portion of the health bar, and you can just end it. With a damage ender and take the round. I don't think that takes care of that problem. Taking Shadow Enders isn't going to fix that. Okay. I don't think Shadow Enders should be removed. I agree that they should be nerfed heavily, but I do not think they should be removed.
Okay, I can agree the nerf. I like the nerfing.
Gutter, what do you think of what my god said? That high level players shouldn't lose to high level players with one chance. They need to learn how to block better.
I can agree with the blocking, but it only takes one chance to get opened up by a one chance break to be opened up again, because there's
with that. Go on.
Well, there's a lot. I mean, with the mix-up possibility with every character, that one chance, that sucks. Like of course, like I said, Glacius doesn't have that mix-up too much, but like a Wolf, like a Sadira, like mostly everybody else, we all have mix-up potential. And since you get so much meter in a combo before you use the meter, it's just, I understand the blocking, but to a point where you shouldn't be rewarded every time like that for just doing one chance, well, 30, 30, 30. Getting so much meter so fast.
AJ wrote, right? So AJ just wrote that Thunder can get 29% damage off of a combo that doesn't have any breakables.
But is the only thing that you can juggle after the command grab a Fierce?
Yeah, just a DP. That's what that's what I do. You can juggle a Fierce, but I also
can just do a normal DP.
So you can just and then it equals up to 29% every time.
Yeah, but Wolf can do an unbreakable juggle for 32, 33.
Well, the thing is, he's a grappler. I mean, they have to.
I get your point, but my point still remains with Glacius. He doesn't have he doesn't have a lot of opportunities to open people up. What's he supposed to do in a situation where he can get any easy damage and take the round?
The only thing I would say against that is that Glacius has the sickest manuals in the game.
He does have really good manuals, but they're not that useful in every situation. You can only use heavy manuals outside of medium shatter. You can only use heavy manuals on heavy linkers.
So it's very predictable.
I mean, oh, did we lose somebody? I think we lost Gutter, but I mean, I agree. I agree with Spada. I mean, like, I feel like Glacius needs it. I think I've mentioned this in the past that I feel like he does need that kind of damage because, again, Glacius is not supposed to be like a long combo heavy person. He's supposed to be a zoning / trap kind of character. You know what I mean? Make you basically trip on your shoelaces kind of thing.
Yeah.
He's supposed to be that kind of character, and leaving him with that definitely, is. You know what I mean? Like, it does great damage.
I'm back.
What I would feel like would be awesome is, like, if they would scale the damage. Let's say if Glacius did get affected. Basically, what I would say is, like, if Glacius were to do a one chance, have the character be pushed back even further. You kind of get what I'm saying? Like, have Glacius one chance breaks or any ender just push the character even further back, so that way he
can't be opened up quickly
so that
again?
way yeah, because from what I personally notice is when I get knocked down by Glacius, and then this may just be a character specific thing, I don't feel like I'm gonna have to jump over a mountain or cross the desert to try to get to him. I still feel like I can just pretty much go straight forward, right? And when he does one chance breaks, so basically a light into a shadow puddle punch, and then sometimes he'll tap you with like the lance, right? Of course, nobody should ever be able to break them. That's actually one of the best ways to get somebody far away, right? Scaling the damage with Glacius, I mean, it would still push like the character away, right? But I mean, but then like the damage would have to come from extremely long combos. And in my opinion, I feel like Glacius isn't that kind of type of character to do like super long combos like Jago can.
He's not.
So I personally feel like he needs the damage from the one chance.
Gutter, what were you gonna say to me?
Oh well, no. Before I was gonna say that with Glacius needing the one chance, he has the most coolest looking manuals. And
well, he does, and I agreed with that. But the thing is that I don't want to have to be too repetitive for the stream. But the only thing he can do a heavy manual after, other than heavy linkers, is the medium shatter. He can't do a heavy manual after anything else. So he's limited to light and medium manuals.
Well,
so that
mostly
makes
everybody but Jago.
He gets for anybody breaking instead of 30%, like Jago has.
Yeah.
Well, okay, so Anna was saying before people were talking about my character, just a quick throw in, I'm a grappler.
Yeah, I mean, I get that.
People are saying my back throw is it's all still throws. My game, the gameplay that you get caught by, the teching and the grabbing, you can, those are very easily avoidable. But what we're saying overall is getting into a combo by any character doing this. Saying that my character does specific certain things that quote-unquote one chance, he's a grappler. Those all require grappler things that he does.
Well, I mean,
he's a specialist for it.
If Thunder does one chances, it doesn't really give you that much damage, does it?
It really doesn't.
No, people were saying it's still 30%, still the same thing.
Yeah.
But I'm saying people are saying that if you can do back throw and a back throw, isn't that one chance? Yes, but that's still a grappler specific thing. That's not a universal.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying. And then people are, and it being a shadow command throw, yes, it's very easy to avoid. You can just hold up. That's it.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I think the three of us all kind of agree that the damage should be scaled. I think, like, think about it when you get hit of the shadow puddle punch as a shadow ender. The only time anybody ever says anything is after the fifth hit hits them. Because then they're like, holy crap, that last hit did a shit ton of damage.
Yeah.
Like, and that's the case. If that last hit didn't do so much damage, it wouldn't be such a detriment for people that are getting hit by it. I don't think that I don't see top players other than players like Justin Wong who can open people up. And I think it's interesting to watch, to watch him open people up over and over again. Like, then that's the way it's going to be. Justin Wong, for the first 3 or 4 months of the game, only used combos with a single linker or double anyways, whether he had shadow meter or not. So, like, I don't like the idea. I keep seeing people post in the chat that they don't like high-level play being diminished because of it, because high-level players are always going to go for guaranteed damage.
but I don't see its utility when you can use less amount of time and the other player as their own weakness to get more damage in a single combo most of the time. But I don't know. I don't agree with taking it out altogether. That's the only thing I can really say.
Here's one more thing, and then we're gonna have to end it with like a final say, because it's almost 11, and I don't want it to be too late when I, play the game, Five Nights at Freddy's.
Nights.
But
Yeah, no problem. Dude.
Boondock brought a very interesting thing. He says, "Here's the thing: the ability to do a one-chance break combo does not signify a high-level player. Anyone can learn a one-chance break combo. So how is that a top-level technique? I want the top players to be people who can truly use all the mechanics of the game to score wins." Pat, what do you think of that?
I don't disagree that that it would be boring to watch high-level players play that way, but I.
Oh damn it! I think we lost him.
Oh,
shit!
I love Boone's post. I'm in love with him right now.
I think we
Yeah, I
just
think we
lost
lost him.
Damn it, Spat. Okay, well, might as well tell me what you think.
I dig it, and I praise Boone Doc for that. Shout out to Boone. It's true, because there are a lot of people that do that, and it's kind of like, I don't know. I mean, I just hate, like, okay, here we go. I just don't like. I don't like the whole aspect period, so I'm gonna agree with anything almost against it. So I might be biased towards it. I can say that. That's the truth. I'm not gonna be a dick and be trying to go around it and shit. But it's true. He is very right, and I don't agree. I very agree. So you're up. Go ahead.
Spada, what's your view on that, man?
I mean, I do agree with what the overall view of what Boone's saying, but I can't justify taking Shadow Enders out of the game altogether.
Oh, I don't think you say that.
No.
Well, I don't know if that's suggesting. That's the only thing I can say. I mean, I can agree with the gripes about it because it is boring to watch. I don't like watching matches that use only that tactic. It's boring as fuck. But,
yeah.
Like, yeah, I don't know.
Is there any? Okay, well, I mean, you guys have one last thing you guys want to say before we start ending it. Gutter, you can go first, and then Spatty, you can go afterwards. If you want to say anything at all.
No, I'm good. If people want to, well, I'm gonna keep. I'll be, like I said, I'm an honest person. If people want to keep doing that, then do your thing. It's it's not very, it's frowned upon, to be honest.
If it didn't work the first time, try
again. If it isn't worth the first time, try again. That's the thing. Yeah, I'll end it on that one. Go ahead.
Spat, what's up, man? Like, what's your final view about this?
I think, yeah, I mean, I think the only thing I can really say is that I just wouldn't like them taken out. But yeah, take out their effectiveness. I think that top-level players like Grims, like Gutter, like E, like Rico, like CD, the players that we can consistently see in top 8, they're going to continue to play the game the way they want to play it, which is obviously not this way. So even if they get put up against a player that uses this tactic only and is exclusive to this tactic, it's going to be much more interesting watching them get destroyed by one of those players. Okay. So either way, I mean, I don't agree with taking it out, but I do understand. Yes, it is boring, and yes, they do too much damage, and I could agree with nerfing the damage, but I don't agree with changing any other aspect of the game, whether it be changing the way shadow meter works or other ideas that have come up in the forums. But yeah, I guess that's the last I can really say about it.
I have an idea for something else, but that's for another time, another talk. So good stuff.
Okay, yeah, we'll say that for now. And my last statement. I hope it does not offend anybody. I really hope so. I really hope so. Because if anybody lets this offend them in any way, I will slap you in the face and probably ban you from my chat. Because everybody needs to keep an open mind about this. Okay, just get your head out of your butts. Okay, one chance breaks does not define a top level player.
No, it does not.
It does not, and it absolutely does not. What defines a great player is how well you can utilize every single mechanic in the game to your advantage, and at the same time being very, very flexible around it against a tough opponent that does not fall for many of the. Basically, a person with extensive knowledge in this game utilizing that to their advantage against another person that has extensive knowledge in this game, not using one very quick, least riskiest, quite damaging move.
I actually like what Jago says, but go ahead.
So that's my thing. And I hope to see more players move away from this because, again, there's way more to the game that people can really utilize. Okay, there's way more to the game that I know that people can actually just take and literally just blow up and show like what they can do. Because right now, not a lot of people are getting the definition or not getting any kind of recognition of what defines them as a player in this game. Everybody's utilizing one thing, and basically, you know, they will be unnoticed by that particular thing. You know what I mean? Like, it sucks because some people do want to get recognition or want to be noticed, but it's harder that way for them. And the thing is, whether it's guaranteed, whether it's the smartest thing to do in a tournament, it's, again, in my eyes, it doesn't define, you know, what a great player has to be. And, you know, it's utilizing everything to your advantage. Now, keep in mind, there are some things that are that needs to be better. Like, you know, I'm just gonna give you a small example, like Spinal's dive kick. Nobody uses that because nobody really gets hit by that, and when they block it, Spinal gets punished 100 billion times %. You know what I mean? It's not great. But the matter of fact is, I don't think using it defines what a top player or a great player is. Okay, it's about the fundamentals, it's about the mind games, it's about the mechanics, it's about how you use everything to your advantage. And if you come out as a victor, you freaking earned it. That's what.
Can I say one more thing? I actually just remembered a point that I did want to make.
Yeah, go
one
ahead.
last point I did want to make.
Yeah, go ahead.
Affecting shadow enders in any other situation but one chance break combos affects how they can be utilized in other portions of the combo. If I do light linkers and medium linkers and light manuals and medium manuals only, I'll get to a level 1 or a level 2 ender by the time I max out my KV meter. Shadow enders are you can utilize them in this situation as well to boost your damage at the end of the combo. This is why I do not think they should be affected elsewhere, because they're not only usable in that situation. But that was the last thing I wanted to say.
Yep. So basically, again, in my closing statement, it is, in my opinion, that you can't really. I mean, if you don't utilize everything, you just stick to one thing that's just absolutely viable, and that's about it. I mean, you're not really exploring the game. You're not really exploring every single aspect on how to defeat your opponent. That's what these fighting games are all about. Exploring your opponent, exploring the mechanics, and how you can use them to your advantage. Not just sticking to the least riskiest, most damaging, you know, setup that can really be in your favor by so much. So, I mean, again, like, I hope that doesn't offend anybody. That's just my view on it. I love to see more people, you know, just like how it was in the first couple months, people utilizing every single thing that they have, and that's how we knew all of these names. This person was unique, that person was absolutely unique. You know, we had names dropping left and right, and you knew exactly how that person played. I mean, not exactly how to counter them, but you know the way they play, and that made them extremely special. You know what I mean? And that's what made them great when they fought against other great players, because they used that technique, they used that unique, you know, play style against somebody, and then they would clash, and then you would see this evolution between these two players, and then that would be like giving birth to all these other setups that other people want to use, and basically it's viral. So again, guys, thank you guys so much for joining me. Gutter, Telar, Spada, you guys are awesome. Yep. Thank you so much for giving me your views, giving the stream your views.
Yep.
I shall end this stream, and I think you guys know what's going to come next.
Yes!
Oh. Yeah, that'll be fun. All right, you guys have a good one.
You guys have a great night. See you later.
Later.
Okay, well, that was fun, guys. All right, so I'll be posting up that podcast on YouTube, and everybody can check it out. Just in case if you missed it, I'll be putting them up, and we'll see what happens. You know what I mean? So, and guys, if you have any views, remember, let's try to keep this an open mind. You know, let's try to keep it civil, okay? You don't want to try to insult anybody by, you know, talking about it. Some people utilize it more than others, but again, everyone's opinion is everyone's opinion. As long as you don't, you know, insult them. You know what I mean? That's like the goal of every day. As long as you don't insult other players, that'd be great. You know what I mean? But we kept it really nice. I love the conversation. I love everyone's answers on the chat. You know, it was really awesome. So thank you guys for giving me, you know, I've been reading a lot of people's view on this, and it's quite interesting. So thank you guys for participating. I love doing this actually a lot. So anywho, let's go ahead and switch games.